While Mel over there thinking she doing something that's best for the kids, Martell over there thinking they gonna get back together and he hopeful. Y'all ready to talk about it? Cue the music! Oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back.
I'll drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate up for discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video and no nails. And girl, when I tell you, I had a lot to do today. And I was trying to rush back home to go to the nail shop. I got there at 6:30 and that man told me it's too late because they close at 7. Oh, Lord. My hands real small, y'all. Pay them no mind. They might be a little ashy too because I've been doing a lot and I wash my hands all the time. A lot of you hoes don't. But don't worry about all that. Girl, look, let's get into this episode. So, yeah, Love and Marriage Huntsville, season what, episode who, I don't know. It's going to be down in the description. But we going to call this Martell the Hopeful. Mel, listen. These are the lines that the people was out here saying that's going to get blurred. Because, see, while you thinking you doing something best for the kids and Martell saying he's doing what's best for the kids, what we do know is Martell wants you back. Ain't surprised. And we found out you paid for all the trip, but we gonna get them. We move into the doggone episode. So Stormy and Tip is doing a commercial shoot, and Tip is a model. And I say model for what? I ain't even trying to be shady, but what she modeling? Anyway, so Mel comes in and she greets the girls and thanks Stormy for the peace party. I'm sorry, she said the peace party was everything. She really enjoyed it. Woot the woot the woo. I said, well, go ahead on, Mel. The peace party was nice. It really was. It really was. So, you know, shout out to Destiny and this peace party. She was like, you know, I thought about it and I ushered in some good spirits and I was just like, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Well, why would you play the game, doggone, what you heard or what I said and what you heard and what you thought I said and all of that? Stormy, you think you slick. Anyway, Mel lets the girls know that Destiny invited her out to her shoot. And the girls was like, oh, that's good. So y'all making progress. Y'all gonna be friends? And she was like, but we not friends. We very cordial. She get in her confession and was like, why people always feel like you gotta be friends with people? You could just be cordial. Some things don't work out. And I'm gonna agree with you on that, Mel. You know, you ain't gotta be friends with everybody. You know, sometimes you move past certain situations. And you're able to be in a space where when you happy, you could just be like, you know, hey girl, and then keep it moving. We ain't gotta be what we was. We all know Destiny was over there begging for Mel's affection like she did probably Love Aries, allegedly. But Mel shut her down like Love Aries did and said, ain't gonna happen. Girl, bye. But the girls feel like they can become friends. But Mel is like, no, we just gonna be cordial. But she says she gets frustrated about that because, you know, these people act like you gotta be friends with everybody. And the fact of the matter is you don't. And you really don't. But she says she tells the girls that she invited Martell to Destin. And they were like, you did what? Which was the same thing I did. The girls don't understand why she would invite Martell to Destin, I'm sorry. And Stormy asks why she did it. So, you know, Tip jumps in, well, it'll be good for the kids. Shut your ass up, Tip. We ain't asked you. She asks why would Mel do it. That's just the whole point of the matter. And at the end of the day, it's a big conflict, and we're gonna see it here later on kind of play out in front of us. I get it. You want the kids to see y'all cordial, you want the kids to see everything is good. I'm all here for it, but it can send mixed messages. I'm sorry, the way Maurice and Marceau was saying. But she said, you know, things don't bother me the way they used to do. I'm in a happy place. I'm in a happy space. I just want to be the bigger person after 2 years, and I seen growth in Martell. And I said, girl, he ain't even as buff as he was. So what growth did you see? Anyway, so Stormy asked if the kids think they gonna get back together. And Mel tells her, girl, no, my kids are very mature and very intelligent. They know we're not getting back together. I'm going to have another conversation with them. They straight, you know what I'm saying? They not like the regular average kids. People be seeing my kids and say, girl, your kids is something special. And they are. Very respectful, very intelligent, very articulate. I love Mel and Martell's kids. If Martell ain't did nothing right, he did something right with them kids. That's all I'm saying. But she get in her confessional and says she don't want this to open the door of Martell thinking they getting back together. Well, ain't you inviting them on the trip and y'all stay in the same house? Let's move on. We move to the next thing. Destiny and her cousin Demi decided to work together because nobody else want to work with Destiny. Girl, if you just needed your cousin to make a appearance on the show, just say that, girl. So now you got a resort to dealing with your cousin with business because nobody down there in the streets of Huntsville want to do it. And don't think we ain't catch on to that because we did. So the cousin was just like, girl, let me show you these products or whatever. She had some makeup. I think it was like some lip gloss. And she was like, oh, some of these are matte. Some of these are glossy. And this one has a 90s theme. You know, this one is called, what did she call it? I don't know. But she said she wanted to do a 90s theme party to break it out and ask Destiny if she's going to invite all the girls. Or do she think all the girls are going to come? And Destiny was like, girl, even if I don't invite them heifers, they coming. Well, I don't know. You better have Miss Wanda there with that show enough. That's the only way everybody coming. Anyway, but Demi lets us know that she went to school with Martell and she did Mel makeup for the wedding. She's done Tisha makeup. She's done, basically, Demi done been around the whole little streets of Huntsville. Demi know them girls. Demi know them, and she said, you know, she's been around them and she knows everything about them. She knows their MO. But Destiny lets her know that she had a conversation with Mel and they're amicable. Like, it don't have to be nothing crazy. They able to be cordial in public. But what we all know is Destiny would love for her love of her life as far as her friendship, Mel, to come back around. But Mel ain't trying to hear. Destiny, move on. Stop acting crazy. But she said she can move on and she can forgive, but she won't forget. Destiny, don't nobody care. Demi thinks her not being cool with Mel bothers her. And Destiny is holding true to her faith that that's false. Girl, Stevie Wonder could see you lying. You love that girl. You miss her. That's why you ask her, you love me, right? Validation. Girl, anyway. But yeah, so Demi asked Destiny, okay, so if Mel came back around and said, look, I want to be friends. I want to start over, start anew. Would you be okay with that? And Destiny, in her true bullshit fashion, said, no, girl, bye. You lied. You a liar, and the truth ain't in you. You can't wait for Mel to come back and say she want to be friends. Moving on, Mel and the kids is packing for Destiny, and the kids is Destin, I'm sorry. And the kids is super excited to go to Destin. They talking about all the stuff they done did and what they looking forward to. And her mama, Miss Van, downstairs is packing snacks for them. Sure, you know what I'm saying? She putting fruit in little Ziploc bags, you know. You know what? I'll say this. Mel and Martell, Miss Van, and Mama Hope might have some bullshit with them. But when it comes to them churn, they damn good. Because guess what? Don't know Grandma, I know would have been packing no fruit. They'd have been packing potato chips, cookies, candy. Churn would have been bouncing off the ceiling of the car for the 5.5 hour drive. Girl, please. Anyway, so Mel tells her mama, you know, as far as I know, Martell and his mama coming because I did invite him. And Miss Van was like, oh, that's crazy because I hadn't spoken to her since the divorce. Well, you're going to get a chance to talk to her now. But Mel said she talked to her and they showed the flashback and she said, it kind of started off a little rocky, but we got to a better place. So Miss Van is looking forward to having a conversation with Mama Hope. She said it's going to be good for them to get together because they always got together in the past and they always did wonderful things together. Listen, I understand the idea, right, of what y'all are trying to do. But ultimately, and I'm going to get to this later, but how does this play out when other people come into the picture? We're going to talk about it. Anyway, let's move on. Martell is over there packing with his mama, and he said he's nervous and excited because he just don't know what to expect. His mama asked about the kids and said, well, she basically said, look, this isn't about you. This is about the kids. But Martell feels like, nah, it is about me and Mel. What? See, Mel, rule or reason number one why you shouldn't have invited him like that. Or if you did, you should have had him stay in another place. I'm just saying because Martell over there thinking y'all got a chance. Like, I don't think that's right. And personally, I don't want y'all to get back together. And I'm pretty sure you don't want y'all to get back together. But I'm saying the illusion of inviting him, he really, in his heart of heart, feels like he got a chance. And he don't. Martell, go sit your small head ass down. But he said, you know, it's about the kids and we in a better place. And the mama, she just excited for everybody to be back together. And Martell says Miss Van is coming. And Mama Hope asked if the kids knew he was coming. And he said, yeah, they knew. So now Martell tells his mom that what the guy said about him giving the kids false hope by going on a trip. And they do the flashback. Listen, this is a two-headed sword or double-edged sword or however you want to say it. Martell, it could go either way. And I get y'all can explain to these kids, but when kids want something or when people want something, they tend to see what they want even before they get it, right? So you can tell the kids, and Mel can tell the kids, look, we're not getting back together, and that's all cool. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know which way their minds is going to go, especially when they see y'all under the same roof. Anyway, but she tells him, Martell's mom just says, look, talk to your kids, you know, just don't worry about it. Now, Martell said he don't agree that the kids will think they're getting back together because they smart, and I know Mel thinks the same way. But Mel is on the flip side saying, look, I know my healing is in jeopardy by inviting this dude. Well, then my thing is, why invite him? Listen, I don't have an issue with y'all being in mutual places. That's not my issue. But what I'm saying is, it's 2 years off of the divorce. I get it, y'all been in bad places, in bad spaces and all that. But the kids, in reality, is going to have to get used to the idea that y'all not going to be able to be together. Because this is my question. Are you going to be able to invite him to the family trip if he gets remarried and has more kids? Are y'all going to still stay under the same roof? Or is it convenient and okay because he ain't got nobody? He just got his mama. That's that BS that I'm really confused about, because the kids are going to feel like, well, why he can't come now? He been coming all these years, or he came this year, or the year of this, you know what I mean? I just think that I understand y'all want to put a good, positive image in front of the kids, but that could backfire. You got to be very, very careful about that. That's just my opinion. Personally, me and my kids would have went on the trip by ourselves because that's just something they're going to have to get used to. I'm not saying I would never invite him in the future, but the trip by ourselves would have just been what it was. Because at the end of the day, like you tell the kids, you just know we not together. But if they see y'all together, their visual creates the thoughts in their head. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, he's just glad, Martell, that the kids is good and they gonna be there. And he said he got hope. And he glad the kids got hope because you never know what God gonna do. Mel, do you see what I'm saying now? I'm just saying, I don't know. I could be wrong because I know that the whole issue is, or the whole premise about this is the kids and making sure the kids are okay. But now you got Martell. I'm over here worried about the kids, and Martell is the one I should be worried about because he feel like he has a glimmer of hope. And he wants the kids to have hope. That could be very dangerous. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Kimmy and Maurice are on the way home, and it's her first round of chemo she's completed. Listen, all Kimmy scenes with this whole triple negative breast cancer thing, it really touches a different space in my heart. Not that it didn't touch it before, but being a person that's gone through dealing with somebody who's dealing with breast cancer, it hit different. You know what I'm saying? So they on their way home. And Maurice asked how she's feeling. She was like, you know what? It's not as bad as I thought it was. It's not as painful. She said, but, you know, I got 16 weeks left. Then I got surgery, then radiation, then healing. I'm sorry. Can I give y'all my opinion? And it's just opinion. I ain't no doctor. Do the research to do the research to understand what I'm about to say. Chemo and radiation burns you from the inside out in order to kill or burn the cancer cells. Think about what I just said. Chemo and radiation burns you. It's almost like sniffing gas, but the gas that kill you. What is it? Tear gas or something like that. I don't know if any of y'all ever had it or ever sniffed it. But it burns you on the inside so that it can kill the cancerous cells. What else is it killing? Not only that, you know, if it wasn't for me telling my best friend to go get a second opinion, that doctor was like, let's start chemo like next week. If she never went and got that second opinion, she would have been in chemo. Turns out her second opinion showed that she didn't have it. I'm not saying don't get doctors help. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, please, people, black women. I can't talk to nobody but us, the people who look like me. Black women, make sure you exhaust all options. If you get any type of prognosis or diagnosis, even if the doctor is head set on what it is, get a second and a third opinion. That's all I'm saying. Because every treatment option don't have to be chemo and radiation. I knew a girl who had breast cancer and had gone through it so long that she said, I'd rather just die naturally than go back through breast cancer and the chemo. There's got to be a better way to combat this. My conspiracy theory brain tells me that these people uses this stuff so that they can make money. And I could be wrong. I just want us to do our research. Does that make sense? Anyway, so she said the chemo wasn't that bad and she's ready to move on and move forward. But she says there's a real reason why she's going through this. God is telling her there's a reason why she's going through this. I'm going to tell y'all again. I don't understand those type of sentiments. That's all I'm going to say. But she said there's a real reason why she's going through this. And she said the moment right now is surreal. And they tested everywhere else in her body. It hasn't spread. And then they had a negative genetic test. So she ain't got to worry about it being genetically inherited or whatever. Even though she don't have a daughter, but I get it. You just want to test for everything. Her PET scan shows that it didn't spread. And they're glad that they caught it early because now they can do whatever they need to do to get rid of it. But the doctor says there's no positive about having a triple negative breast cancer, and she appreciated that. So basically, she appreciated that the doctor was actually honest. A lot of times people lie to you and be like, "Oh, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right." What we're gonna find out later is how aggressive triple negative breast cancer is, and how rare it is, and what the effects of it is. And the fact that her doctor was just straight up and was like, yo, it may or may not go the way you want it to go. She appreciated that. Because, Kimmy's a straight shooter. I'm here for it. But she's glad that he was able to be honest about that. And Maurice is glad, but he said he want her to be optimistic. And he really wanted to just be able to tap into reality. So he's trying to make it to her like, everything's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. But the reality of it is he doesn't know. He really doesn't know. And that's bothering Maurice. And you can tell Maurice is a person who always has a solution for everything. But in this situation, he has none. It's really bothering him. But anyway, Kimmy says the chemo started after 2 weeks of finding out that she was diagnosed. Again, ladies, get second and third opinions, please. Jesus, please get second and third opinion. And Maurice glad that they started so they can get it over with. Now, on the flip side, moving on, Mel and the kids is on the way to Destin, and the kids asked if everybody stand in one house. Yes, Tank. They all stand in one house. Tank in the front seat. I like Tank. Mel said the kids got a lot of questions, and she got the answers for them, but she asked the kids what their favorite memories of. I believe it was Malia in the back that was like, oh, my favorite memory was Daddy wearing them floral shorts or them pink shorts or whatever it was, and Mel was just like, It's going to be awkward. Y'all are going on a family trip that the kids don't know nothing about but what they experienced. Like, it's just going to be awkward. And that's the stuff you got to be ready for. But Mel basically wants them... they asked Mel what her favorite memory of them going on these trips was. And she said it was them building sandcastles. Again, asking the kids, right, what their favorite memories of the trips were. That included everybody. Instead of this is my idea. I personally would want to create more memories, right? Meaning we can reminisce on the old memories. Oh, this is so great, so great. My focus, to me, just me, I would be like, let's create more memories. Because the reality of it is, y'all are not going to be able to go on trips like that. It's just not forever. It's just not going to happen. And I don't want to be a negative Nancy or Debbie Downer or nothing like that. But I'm a realist. Like, at the end of the day, you can sit up there and be like, oh, it's best for the kids, but you don't want to have that blurred line right there. They don't have to get used to going to Destin without their daddy. I think I would have did that for at least the first year or so, and then I wouldn't have invited him on tail. I just wouldn't have invited him right away, especially coming off of COVID. I just wouldn't have, but I ain't telling her she's wrong. She's a parent. She's a mother. She's doing what she feels is best. I support you, Mel, but I just feel like it's going to blur a lot of lines. So now, Mel basically said she want to balance the scale and create more positive memories. I think that should have been done without Martell being there. Tank said he want to drive the golf cart. Tank said, let me drive the boat. Mel said, I don't know about all that. We got to check the laws, but we'll see what happens when we get there. Now, Maurice and Kimmy get home to the family, and Kimmy's whole family is there. Her mother, her father, her sister, her niece, and I guess her niece's child, and Jalen is there. Everybody is there. She finally gets home. Maurice and her sits down. That's the scene behind me. And people got questions. She was like, how did y'all day go? They were like, we were just watching the clock, waiting for you to come home. So she explains to them about triple negative breast cancer and tells them that it's the rarest form that only affects African American women. Ask yourself why. But how aggressive it is, and it's one of the most aggressive, if not the most aggressive. I'm sorry, and that she's optimistic about what's going to happen. She actually even said that she was happy that Maurice was just like, oh, I got faith, I got hope, we gonna be good, don't worry about it. And I love that Maurice was able to be like, I said that, but you know, I just had to do it in that moment. Kimmy's response was, you know what, even if it was BS, I needed it in that moment. Maurice, listen, you got a ride going with you. You got a ride moving forward. I pray for you. I pray for Kimmy. I pray for everybody. I really do. Because it's a hard thing to go through, you know. But at the end of the day, I can empathize with Maurice because I was like that with my best friend. Like, oh, girl, you going to be straight. Don't worry about it. We ain't got to make no plans, blah, blah, blah. We going to be straight. We going to be straight. You be saying that, but on the inside, that ain't what you be feeling. So I understand Maurice. But he, especially as a man, he can't show them emotions like I did. Because me and my best friend broke down crying one night. Because we were talking about it, and it just hit me. And I was just like, I love you. I care about you. You're going to be straight, but I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? And I hated that I did that, but I had to do that because I had to be authentic to how I felt. We cried. And I thank God that the second result came back, that it was negative, there was faulty stuff going on with the test. So I thank God for that. I think it's good that Kimmy caught it early because she said they caught it super early and was able to get right down to chemo in 2 weeks. But I just truly and honest to God wish that she had gotten a second or third opinion. I don't know if she did or if she didn't. But, you know, whatever Kimmy's journey is Kimmy's journey. I'm all here for it. But I really wish that she had gotten a second opinion because I've seen this happen where it ain't what we think it is. Anyway, so she lets her family know that it's 20 weeks of treatment. They say it's 6 to 8% of people that get it and that are affected by it, and most of those are, damn near all of those are African American women more than others. She asked if anybody got questions. Jalen raised his hand and said he want to know about visitation. This is a rock and a hard place for Kimmy because Kimmy was like, listen, I want to make sure that Maurice is in on this. I want to make sure that he's present. But you know what? On days that he's not available, I would love for you to be there with me going through radiation and blah, 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 blah. This is why I say this is a rock and a hard place. When you ain't had nobody before you met Maurice, it was just you and Jalen. I'm just trying to put myself in the mind of Jalen. Like, I get it, that's your husband, and he love Maurice just like you love him. How does that make Jalen really feel that he's second fiddle? You know, or if Maurice can't come in. I'm not scolding Kimmy, Lord knows, please, I'm not. I'm just saying it puts a woman who's only had her son or her child, period, between a rock and a hard place because you have married and become so tied with this man. And ultimately he's supposed to come first. But you still have a child that you birthed that no matter how old they are, they still your baby. And they are the more guaranteed person in your life. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, she told them they could talk about it and figure it out. I'm pretty sure Jalen is not, like, really crazy. Like, not crazy, but he's not really going to, like, freak out about that or feel no type of way about it, but you never know. She said that when she told Jalen, you know, is pretty stoic with his responses and his emotions. He don't really show it. But she said when she told him about it, he was visibly disturbed. Of course. Anybody, especially your mama, of course he was visibly disturbed. I would have been too. she's worried because Maurice is normally a fixer. And with this, he can't fix it. You know, Maurice could put on this whole front. You know, this is where that masculinity thing comes in. Where, you know, I'm the strong man. Don't worry about it. We good. But on the inside, it's really messing with him. She knows that. That's why she said he's normally a fixer. But with this, he can't fix it. So she's concerned. Maurice is just there to be your crutch and your stepping stool and be there with you all the way. So I think that everything will be okay. The mama asked her if she told any of her friends. She said, well, I told my close friends. And Marie said she did tell some of her close friends. But Kimmy's whole thing was, I didn't want to tell everybody until I had the PET scan. Now that I had the PET scan and I know what's going on, it's not aggressive, it's not spreading, I can have that conversation. I hadn't told the comeback group, you know, Tisha, Martell, and all of them. Well, she did tell Tisha, but she didn't tell Martell and Mel and blah, 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 blah. But she's definitely going to do that when she gets a chance. But she just needed to know what was going on before she had a conversation. I'm here for it. I believe that should have been the right steps to take. Know what's going on before you have a conversation with everybody. But she basically says when she found out the results, the reason she didn't say much to a lot of people, her mind was in a sunken place. She didn't know what was happening or what was going to happen. I completely sympathize with that. I'll tell you this. My best friend was in the midst of a divorce and she didn't even tell her now ex-husband that she had that cancer scare. You know what I mean? To this day. You got to be very selective on who you talk to about those things because you don't want it to be a situation where you just talking and everybody in your business and you can't even find a way to figure things out yourself. So I'm here for it. But she said now that the PET scan came back, she's going to talk to him. But she's grateful for her family and friends. She said the love and support has been overwhelming. She don't want for nothing. Her family come around, she don't want for nothing. I love that about her. But it's a first treatment down, and she said she a thug at heart, and she feel like she going to get through it. Kimmy, you're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. I saw in the next projected episode, you're going to be cutting off all that beautiful hair. It's going to go back. Don't worry about it. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Mel arrives to the house with the kids, and the kids love the house. It was sitting right on the beach. It was giving like a white theme or whatever. You know, it was really nice. Mel, you did a good job. The kids is running all around. They love it. Martell and his mama arrives, and they love the house as well. This is what I did appreciate about this scene. You know, us out here in adult land and in social media, we know Martell ain't worth shit. He ain't worth a dime. He ain't worth the flow you walk on. Martell, as a man and as a husband, ain't worth the street. But what I loved about this scene was how them kids jumped on him like he was Superman. Listen, as a girl who grew up with her daddy all her life, daddy been married to my mama 40 plus years, stop acting crazy. Daddy always been there. I could totally be in that space when Malia and Sugar Mama jumped on Martell when he walked through that door. Now listen, my mama might have a different story than I have, but my daddy always been Superman, Batman, whatever superhero you could think of. And when I saw them children jump on their daddy, I said, you know, regardless of how we feel about Martell, he a damn good father because it shows in them children. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. He a damn good father. You can be a shitty husband and a damn good father. It is what it is. I don't know why. You know what I mean? People feel like those two can't be separate. And I love the fact that them kids love him unconditionally. Like, they don't care what nobody say out here in these YouTube streets and the social media stuff. They love their daddy. I'm here for it. But Martell came back. Well, he comes in there and he brought Mel her favorite snack. But he got the wrong kind. Now, Martell, you trying to be thoughtful and romantic, and this ain't that type of trip. But Mel, this is the environment you fostered. Mama thanks Mel for inviting her, and Martell feel like the trip is off to a great start. Yeah, that's because you think you got a chance. Martell said the reason for them being on this trip is for the kids to have good memories and be in a positive light, or see them in a positive light. They gonna see y'all in a positive light, obviously. Like I said, I just don't know about the whole trip thing. But Mel gives the agenda of what's going to happen, you know, for the rest of the trip. She said the chef be here tomorrow, but tonight I'm going to go ahead and order some pizza and wings, and we going to be good. So she take them on the tour to see where they're going to be sleeping. And Mama Hope, listen, not only do them kids love Martell peen head ass, they love their grandma too. They was clinging on to Mama Hope. They was clinging on to Mama Hope. Mama Hope might not be all that great of a person or what, I don't know. I'm not saying she is or she ain't. But I tell you what, them kids she can't do nothing wrong to them children. And that's how you know when you good parenting and grandparenting to your children. Period. So now, Mel take them on their tour, and she says this is her first co-parenting trip, and it could go either way. It could go really good, or it could go really bad. Like, she just don't know. The food arrives. The pizza and the wing arrive, and it's wrong. The wings ain't lemon pepper, ain't got no flavor on it. She ordered Martell's favorite pizza, which was pepperoni and sausage, but apparently they got them separate. Now, Martell comes downstairs and was just like, wait a minute, you know, I ain't really tripping on the food. It is what it is. I'm just happy to be here. You know how them dudes be when you already over them and they just trying to get you back. I'm just gracious to be here. Stop it, Martell. But she was like, listen, I'm the same way I always been, because he hollered, I don't know if you still thinking about your food like you was. She said, I am. And at the end of the day, I got your pizza the way I ordered your pizza the way I wanted it to be, and they separated. Martell ain't worried about that. He just happy to see the other cakes. You get it? He's happy, or he's gloating in the confessional. Oh, she brought my favorite pizza. I brought her favorite food. You never know what's going to happen. Martell, it ain't going to happen. Mel, please don't make it happen. Please don't make it happen. You better than that, Mel. Don't do that. Please don't do that. But Martell said the old chemistry is there, and it seemed like back in the day. That's what I'm talking about, that blurred line. Them blurred lines. He feel like it's the same thing like y'all used to do when y'all was married. Girl, I'd have got Martell. I wouldn't have got Martell a goddamn thing. Martell would have had to get him an Airbnb up the street. And you can come by the house during the day, but at night you got to get out of here. That's just me. Because it ain't even about the kids. The kids more mature than Martell. Hell, the kids is like, all right, cool. Martell over there the one thinking y'all got a chance. I'm just saying, it just don't make no sense. But the kids is happy that him and their grandmother is there. And Malia notices that they both wearing white. Girl, Malia is the most smartest, intelligent of the kids. I don't know that to be fact, but she's the most outspoken. I'll say that. Malia was like, oh, you and mommy wearing white. What a coincidence. Mel getting the confessional and was like, girl, it was just a coincidence. He ain't in my closet and I damn sure ain't in his. Martell on the other side of the confessional saying, see, Malia, she know, we just a kindred spirit. No, y'all not. When you was messing with coleslaw, was y'all a kindred spirit? Because the last trip y'all was on when y'all was acting all like family, because he reminisced on them being on the bikes and all that. And the first thing I could think of was you was still at the house or back at the Airbnb calling down to coleslaw, telling her you missing and love her. Whole time you ain't miss or love nothing. You was just missing and loving on being able to cheat. Girl, these men is crazy. I just don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. And I'm not saying I ain't never been through it. We all have, and so have I. Listen. But looking back in hindsight, it's a lot of things I can't deal with. I'm sorry. I just can't deal with it. So Mel goes to show Martell the rooms, but they stop and pray with the kids, with over their food first. She goes upstairs to show the rooms, and Martell makes the joke of, we not sleeping in the same room. Mel was like, can we normalize not making everybody feel uncomfortable? Well, Mel, you do have them under the same roof. But Martell, be an adult. Please be a man and an adult. And stop acting crazy. The girl take him upstairs. She showed him where the kids is going to be on the second level. And a couple of them, or one of them going to be downstairs. Mel, why are you putting any of them kids downstairs? You could have let Mama Hope stay downstairs. But I don't know. I'm old school. My kids ain't going to be on no level under me. Period. That's just me. But she brings him upstairs to show him his rooms and Mama Hope room. He don't like that. He not gonna be on the same level as the kids. Martell, like Mel said, he ain't paid for nothing. Martell, you ought to be glad you got a bed to sleep in. You and your mom. She done bought the food and she done bought the Airbnb. What did Martell provide? Why is he here? Why is he ill? Like, I don't understand. Martell, I know you ain't got no money because you ain't got your license, because you a little, what you call it, insecure and whatnot. But ain't no goddamn way he'd have been on no trip on me and on my dime. Because Mel had to let us know she paid for every single thing. The food, she paid for the chef, she paid for the housing, she paid for everything. Martell, if you don't come up off that money for these excursions, I'ma find you and cuss your ass out. This just don't make no sense. As a man, as a so-called provider that you said you was, how are you comfortable going to Destin with your wife and your kids and you ain't fucked up a dime? And you brought a guest, your mom. Listen, Mel, you better than me, because he wouldn't be on my trip without putting in 50-50. Fuck wrong with you? Anyway, where was I, girl? Because this just blew me. I'm just sorry. But she said we ain't sleeping together. But she said it's a dream if Martell thought that they was going to sleep together. But she ain't got time for the jokes. Well, the jokes are on you, Mel, because I wouldn't have had him sleeping under my roof, especially when I'm footing the bill. Sorry. Martell said he want to be on the same floor as the kids, and Mel was like, look, you under the same roof, be grateful. I would have told you want to be on the same floor with the kids, go and rent another room. He had to shut his ass up and get upstairs and lay down like he should. That's just all I'm saying. But anyway, he's over there talking about it feel like old times, and it ain't old times, Martell. Y'all not together no more. Y'all not together. But they get down in her room and she asks him how he feeling about the trip. He said, I feel good. I think everything's going to go well. And he asked her how she feeling. She was like, well, I mean, it could go either way. You know how it is with us. And he was just like, well, I don't think so. I think it's going to be straight. She was like, you know, that's the issue because I feel like you are not understanding of what triggers the things go to left, right? But at the end of the day, we're here. We're going to make what's best of it. It's going to be fine. She said that, he be sending subliminals, but they ain't never getting back together. And end up kicking him out the room, girl. I don't even want to hear this because it sounds toxic to me. Anyway, the mama is over there asking Martell how he feel about what's going on, and he telling the mama the same thing he told the confessionals, that it feels like old time, and he was looking at old pics of them riding the bikes, and it just felt like nostalgia and blah 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 blah. The little boy Tank said he glad they getting along. Well, he tells his mama that he glad they getting along. And Mel was like, listen, I appreciate that, son, but you got to know this. Me and your daddy ain't getting back together. Ain't gonna happen. Say what I said. We ain't getting back together. I know what it look like, but that ain't what it is. We ain't getting back together. We doing this for y'all. We trying to be cordial for y'all. And you know, Tank was just like, that's cool. Martell tells his mama that the kids understand, but he do want them to be hopeful about him and Mel getting back together. But he's still gonna do what's best for the kids. Martell, malicious hope. You ain't never getting back with them kids. You risk everything with your wife and your kids to go have a baby with coleslaw, all to leave her in the dust. It's over for you, fat. You done lost weight. You ain't even as buff as you was. You ain't popping out your suits how you used to pop out them. You know your muscles used to be popping out like the Incredible Hulk. Now you're looking a little, you know, smaller, like you drinking Infamil to get your weight back up. Martell, it's over for you. Stop being optimistic. Don't even tell them kids to be optimistic. It ain't gonna happen. Don't tell them don't be hopeful. Because it's not gonna happen. But the mama said, you know, at the end of the day, it's for the kids. He telling mama, listen, moving forward, we don't have to have nothing come between us. It's about us and the family. Girl, this was a hot ass mess. We gonna see how this trip gonna go. But y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Season whatever, episode who. It's gonna be down there in the comments or in the description. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on TikTok. Stop acting crazy. And yeah, I'll see you hoes later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.